Hey folks, how you doing? Papa Joe here. I want to talk to you about some rules. I had a interesting conversation today with a young veteran, active duty veteran. We got talking about that lady that got shot. Cop shot her. Neither one of us knew details, okay? Our understanding between us, what he heard and what I heard, cops got called to that part of town 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Grandma's in the living room playing some kind of video games with her grandson. The cops are going around shining their lights, and he shines a light in her living room, sees her, and pulls his gun out and shoots her through the window. Don't know why. Don't know what game she was playing. They could have been hooping and hollering. I don't know. They might have been playing a game that had a little gun for it. You know, I've seen those on the video games. We don't know. But that got us talking about the rules of engagement. And he was overseas when all this nonsense first started. And he said that between Bush being in and when Obama came in, the rules totally changed. When Bush was in, they was at least allowed to engage the enemy and protect themselves and whatnot. When Obama came in, they weren't even allowed to protect themselves. I mean, seriously. He was telling me about the 4 S's or 5 S's, signal, shout, shoot a warning round, and then shoot. Something like that. So they had a car coming at their convoy, and he signaled them to stop. They kept coming. He's yelling at them. They keep coming. He shoots a warning shot. They stopped, evidently. And he said they about busted him in rank, talked about throwing him in prison and all kinds of stuff. He said it was so bad that nobody was really even wanting to carry loaded magazines. Really. And his question is if I'm in a combat zone and the rules of engagement are so strenuous over there, he says here in the U.S., where it's supposed to be safe, he said, we got a lot of cops lately shooting people. What's their rules of engagement? It's a good question. Now, don't get me wrong, ain't neither one of us anti-cop. Not at all. We are anti-cop shooting people for no damn reason, or for mistaken identity, or raiding the wrong house, whether they've got a search warrant or not. The lady cop in Dallas thought her neighbor was in her house, in her apartment, and she shot him? Really? What are their rules of engagement? Well, y'all know me. I get some in my brain and I start working on it a little bit. And this time of, well, I can't say this time of year, but the time we're in right now, I automatically start thinking politics. And look at the different rules of engagement we have for the politicians. I shouldn't say engagement, but the rules that they have to obey and the ones we have to obey. He was joking, and I've heard the joke before. You know, he says, you've heard the old saying that if we lie, the government, then it's against the law and we get thrown in jail. If they lie to us, that's just politics. We've all heard it. It's supposed to be a joke, but it's true. If you and I get behind on our taxes, then they're done it. The IRS gets pretty damn mean with you and I. But if you're a politician or some superstar, a simple I'm sorry, and a bunch of them that said I'm sorry still ain't paid. One that comes to mind, not only did he not pay, he kept going to the White House and visiting the president that we had. And I'm sitting out here like, IRS, I can tell you where he's at. He's at the White House. Or to be easy to find. He's the one up there race baiting. Go find him. Why is it they have different rules than you and I? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And you know where this is going. We only got two ways of changing it. One's vote. The other one's a convention of the states. You need to support both. You need to become a voter if you're not one. You need to start voting if you haven't been. Get registered. And let's get this playing field leveled out a little bit. Why is it that they can make over $200,000 a year, more or less, and yet they're not making enough to survive, and the rest of us, average wage for a truck driver, I think I read it was like $56,000 a year, and we work our asses off. Y'all know that. Huh? We do good to get a cost of living raise or anything else in the trucking industry. What's up with that nonsense? But they need more money. The average Social Security, from my understanding, is around $1,200 a month. That's way below poverty. And these are people, most of them, a lot of them, are people that work to pay it in. Why is it the people that haven't worked to pay it in, that know how to work the system, they can make a whole hell of a lot more than the people that worked and paid in? That ain't right. Hell, you can come over here illegally and file and claim more than the average person working. That ain't right. I think we need to see about changing some of these rules. What do y'all think? Just something that was on my mind today. Another short little video to get something off my chest, but not my shirt. Can't get my shirt. Thank you, Warwick. I hope I get some shirts from some of you other folks. I just made a video about it. Check out Around the World. Y'all remember, good Lord loves you. So do I. We need to change some of these rules. Need to change them quick. Y'all have a good evening.